குறைந்த விலை நிறைந்த தரம் தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில் ஜெயச்சந்திரன். குறைந்த விலை நிறைந்த தரம் தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில் ஜெயச்சந்திரன்.
Quite the contrary. I think if you look at foreign investment in the electronics industry, you see a major increase in most countries. So for example, there are record-setting levels of Taiwanese foreign investment into Germany this year. Similarly, Taiwanese foreign investment in the United States. There's major US foreign investment into Ireland and Israel this year in the semiconductor industry. And so if you look at foreign investment levels and exclude China, in the rest of the world, foreign investment is, if anything, increasing in the electronics industry. Now, China's different. Of course, foreign investment into China has come down really dramatically. And there's a couple of reasons why. Partly it's due to the slowdown in China's economy, which has made China less attractive for foreign businesses. Partly it's due to the regulatory environment in China. A lot of companies were very scarred by the experience of Chinese regulation during the pandemic. Partly it is due to political restrictions. I think you find political restrictions are the least important of the factors that I've mentioned in explaining the reduction in foreign investment into China. But I don't think it'd be right to conclude on a global level that that the shifts we're seeing, which are not really about deglobalization, are going to cause poverty. I think actually quite the contrary. If you look at the surge of foreign investment in places like Vietnam, as having the exact opposite effect, really dramatic improvements in the rate of growth in that country. And so I think we shouldn't conclude that we're seeing deglobalization. There's no evidence for that. Quite the contrary. There's lots of international investment happening. And the benefits will be diffused over different countries based on whichever countries succeed in getting the most investment.
So a little follow-up question. So IMF has stated that there is a risk of deglobalization, and the manufacturing supply chain, which is evolved over the years, has now made the price of the goods cheaper. So now there is a risk of the price getting much higher due to offshoring or nearshoring or producing on rich countries. So do you have any alternative to these problems?
Well, I don't think that either companies or consumers are going to accept substantial price increases. I don't think that's realistic. There's extraordinary economic incentive to keep prices as low as possible, and indeed to have prices fall over time, which is exactly what they've done. Now, in certain cases, I think we're seeing companies being willing to pay a little bit more for supply chain diversification, but I don't think we should overestimate that dynamic. And indeed, if you look at the data, it's hard to see any evidence of the type you were suggesting, that prices are increasing. And for most electronics, the trend is still very much on a steady downward path. And I would be very doubtful that companies or governments or consumers are willing to pay much higher prices for electronics.
Hi, I have a question. Yep. You said that wages and costs have risen in China. With that, keeping that in mind, given how India has invested a lot in its services sector and wages and costs here are lower, does that mean that India can swoop in and provide the market that China is no longer able to provide to the world? That's one question. And the second question I have is that currently we have a huge reliance on Taiwan and especially TSMC, right, across the world. What can companies/countries around the world do, given the geopolitical position that Taiwan is in, to reduce that dependency on Taiwan, so that, tomorrow if there are geopolitical tensions between China and Taiwan, that the supply chain is not restricted?
Well, I think on the question of Taiwan, one of the reasons you see governments being more interested in semiconductor manufacturing is precisely that reason, that during the pandemic, governments understood that chips weren't only about smartphones, they were about medical devices and cars and construction equipment, and shortages of chips could have disastrous economic consequences. And so that's why you see incentives for new chip-making facilities in Europe, in the US, in Japan, in other countries. And so that's an effort to address some of the concentration in Taiwan, although Taiwan is such a critical player that it's going to remain absolutely at the center of the chip industry for, I think, a very long time to come, even with these government incentives that are intended to diversify the supply chain. In terms of costs and the prospect of more assembly and more component manufacturing in India, I think labor costs are certainly part of the story, but they're only one part of the cost picture for companies. And it, of course, depends on which type of component you're looking at manufacturing. But next to labor costs, you have the question of infrastructure, the question of, do you have the supply chain for the components that you need? And that varies in terms of the level of complexity based on different types of systems. But I think companies are looking at cost, no doubt, for labor, but they're also looking at other components of the cost of the goods that they're producing. And that's where different countries and different regions within countries have very different cost profiles.
So my question's sort of a two-part question, if you don't mind.
Please.
So the first part is that given that electronics and semiconductors can be considered high-skilled manufacturing, and India has never been at the low-skill level, and it's at least not India, Tamil Nadu at least has started at the high-skill level, and it's exclusively gone into electronics, and now they're very enthusiastic about semiconductors as well. Do you think that you need to build up from low scale manufacturing to high scale manufacturing, or do you think that we can just start with high scale manufacturing and get it right the first time around? And the second part, sorry, is that given that everyone is looking to diversify and sort of bifurcate or even China plus one their value chains, and given that countries like India, Vietnam, and Mexico are trying to compete to be that plus one. Do you think that we're discounting the future too much in the way of sustainability and environmental impact? Do you think that we're trying to be too competitive in the realm of trying to get their business, that we are discounting our future too much from a purely economic standpoint?
Well, I think on the environmental question, I think that's an important issue, and you do certainly, I think, see instances where governments are insufficient, in my view, in enforcing environmental standards when it comes to attracting investments. That's a balance that's got to be struck, and I think you'll probably know better than I do whether the right balance is being struck here, but certainly there is a complex balance there. On the question of low skilled versus high skilled, I think low skilled versus high skilled when you're talking about labor is in some ways a useful heuristic, but it's actually a simplification, because there's not just low and high. There's thousands of different types of skills you need in the electronic supply chain, and it's hard to categorize all of them as low skilled or high skilled. They're just different. You need construction workers who are capable of building certain types of facilities. You need assembly workers who know how to assemble different types of goods. And an assembly worker who can assemble one type of good is often not that good at assembling a different type of good. It requires some training. So I think if you think about the entire electronic supply chain, there are lots and lots of different types of jobs there, from the assembly of devices to the design of devices to the manufacturing of many of the components. And so I think if I was looking at Tamil Nadu in particular, India in general, I think rather than just focusing on one part of the process, I would ask, how do you build out the ecosystem from top to bottom or from bottom to top? Because ultimately, if you focus on just one part, you're going to have a insufficiently well-developed supply chain to do it efficiently. You want a broader ecosystem that will not be betting on a single firm or a single part of the production process, but will rather have the kind of capacity and the scale that will let you develop it over time. And that will require some very highly educated workers. That will require workers that don't have high levels of formal education, but often have a lot of knowledge and expertise they've gained over the course of the production process. And it seems to me that that's actually good news, because it means you have jobs that are high at the end of the wage spectrum and lower at the end of the wage spectrum, and you can get both from electronics manufacturing.
Thank you for the questions. I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your inspiring keynote speech, Mr. Chris Miller. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and expertise with us. And now it's time for felicitation. As we express our gratitude for this enlightening keynote, I would like to invite Mr. Jeyachandran IAS, Joint Managing Director and Project Director, Tamil Nadu Urban Habitat Development Board, to present the memento to Mr. Chris Miller. A round of applause to him. Thank you. And now, Let's transition to our esteemed panel discussion. Today, we have the privilege of welcoming five eminent leaders, each bringing unique insights into the exploration of opportunities through global value chain diversification. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our distinguished panelists. First, let's welcome to our distinguished panelists. First, I would like to welcome Mr. Havish Batra, Head Purchasing and Procurement, Dassault Systems India Private Limited, onto the stage. Please welcome, sir. And next, I would like to welcome Mr. Vikash Agarwal, Managing Director, South Asia, AP Moller Musk. Please welcome, sir. And next, I would like to welcome Mr. Hemant Badri, Head of Supply Chain and Vice President, Flipkart Group. Please welcome, sir. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Kami Vishwanathan, Senior Vice President, Operations Middle East, Indian Subcontinent and Africa, FedEx Express India Private Limited, onto the stage. Welcome, ma'am. And next, I would like to invite Mr. Rashik Gupta, Managing Director and Partner, Boston Consulting Group, onto this stage. Please welcome, sir. To preside over this engaging discussion, we are honored to have Mr. Amitandu Palit, Senior Research Fellow and Research Lead, Trade and Economics at the Institute of South Asian Studies, National University of Singapore, as our moderator. We are confident that his guidance and this panel discussion will be both enlightening and thought provoking. Over to you, sir.
I would now like to invite the Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Environment, Climate Change and Forest, Government of Tamil Nadu, to please present the Tamil Nadu Climate Initiatives.
Welcome our speakers on the dais. I would take this opportunity to especially welcome our keynote speaker, Madam Nirmala, who is also the member of our governing council, and a very, very warm welcome to the other speakers. We have Nitin, we have Mr. Murugan, we have, all other guests who are there on the dais with us, as well as I take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you, senior officers, speakers, and also the young people who have joined us, the CM Green Fellows. A very, very warm welcome. And also we have people from Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, Forest Department, the Environment Department. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you. So today, since the time is very limited, we thought that we would just kind of start off by making a short presentation about the initiatives that the government of Tamil Nadu has taken, which will set the context as to what exactly we are talking about. So can we have the presentation? Oh, they have this thing. Will you take some more time to make the, to keep the presentation ready? It's ready? Okay. 1 minute? Okay. All right. So let me take this opportunity.
One second.
Okay, so as the presentation is kind of coming up, it is very important for us to understand that a resilient economy and a very strong economy cannot develop unless you have a very strong and a very powerful ecosystem. And that includes the preservation of our biodiversity, the empowerment of the local communities, and a very strong um, policy framework which actually details all the action that we need to take. So today in my presentation, as it is coming up, just to save time, I would like to highlight about important government initiatives which might be of interest, especially to those who are joining us for the first time. So the first thing is that you have so many partners as you go around this entire exhibition area, which is on the ground floor. You will see that the entire theme, which is running through this entire global investors meet, is also essential that we have a very strong climate action. And there are so many partners who are working in this particular sector. So so yesterday honorable chief minister released a very important document, and I don't know if you guys have been able to see that document. I just had a copy of it over here, and that is about the dream and a vision for 1 trillion economy. So as you can see here, in that document, which actually lays the pathway for the 1 trillion economy, you have 8 action points, and I think the lower ones are not visible, so you have to maybe reduce the magnification a little bit. So there are 8 action points, and as you can see, there are 4 action points which are in yellow color and 4 action points which are in green color. And that's the motto for us. So what the document says, that the Tamil Nadu's vision towards a 1 trillion economy, it hinges on the climate conscious growth. And if it cannot be sustainable and climate conscious growth, it is very difficult for us to achieve our objectives. So if you look at this particular slide, what does it talk about? It talks about a very strong policy framework. And these are basically the top 4 boxes that you see. These are the boxes which are mandatory. The green boxes are basically the enabling provisions. There are some chairs in front. Please feel free to come forward. So these are enabling provisions which are in green. If you can just please make it shorter, then others can see. Can I read it out for you? Now, policy framework, monitoring and evaluation, sustainable planning, climate adaptation and resilience plan. And I'll read it out, the green ones, which is sustainable financing, stakeholder engagement, technology and innovation, and global collaboration. So these are the 8 things that we are talking about. Now, you will wonder, you know, these are like, they look like big jargons, but actually, it is not so. If you see, most of these things, to some extent, we have already kind of incorporated in the planning that we have done. And how? I will just try to show that to you. Next one. Now, I just mentioned about the Green Climate Company, so I would not like to go into the details, but I just wanted to mention that for us, this becomes the vehicle to kind of steer the 1 trillion economy growth within partnership with the industries. Next. We have so we have this very clear mandate that has been laid out for the Tamil Nadu Green Climate Company, which is basically the company is mandated to assess the risk and vulnerability, prepare the greenhouse gas inventory for the state of Tamil Nadu, because unless you have that inventory, you actually do not know the pathway for decarbonization. So we have finished the assessment, or we have finished the document for the greenhouse gas inventory. It is under review. And in the month of February or so, we should be able to make it public. We also are working on clean energy transition, transport, waste management, and of course, the clean and green climate resilient agriculture. Uh, Government has also set up the first ever Tamil Nadu Green Climate Fund, which is 1,000 crore fund. This is basically to assist startups and even established organizations. This we are doing in partnership with the Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Management Corporation, TNIFMC. They are here. We will also be partnering with TNIDB in a big way, and I have our partners from TNIDB also over here. So basically, this 1,000 crore fund is to support projects in circularity. For example, it could be plastic circularity, e-waste management. It could also be construction and demolition waste, and it could also be decarbonization pathways for the industry. So that is another area where we are working. Um, though it is 1,000 crore funding available at this point of time, but we do have the green shoe option of adding another 1,000 crore to the fund, to the Green Climate Fund. And we become the only state in India to have a dedicated climate company. And we are also, again, the only state in India to have our dedicated climate fund. Next one. Thank you. Um, we again, the state has always been very progressive in ensuring that whatever growth trajectory that we are charting for ourselves, it should be based on data, it should be based on evidence, and it should be based on science. And our climate action is nothing but it is all of that. So we have set up a governing council under our Honorable Chief Minister's leadership. We have Mr. Montek Singh Aluwalia, Mr. Nandan Nelekani, we have Mr. Eric Solim, Dr. Soumya, and we have Dr. Ramesh, Mr. Sundarajan. Nirmala Madam is here with us, and we also have Dr. Ramachandran. So as you can see, it's a mix of the scientists, people who are policy makers, people who are data crunchers, and people who have somewhere or some way or the other have been shaping the destiny of our beautiful country. So I'm very proud that they are, in partnership and in collaboration with us. Next one. Yeah, so just quickly about Green Tamil Nadu mission, because some of you might be interested in collaborating towards making the state, pushing the state towards the 1 trillion economy. So we have these, the data is in front of you. But here, the point is not about the data. The point is about the collaboration, community engagement, and taking the climate action to the grassroots level. This slide is about that. Next one. We also have a big level of community engagement coming. Unfortunately, the data is getting hidden. I believe that the technical team is still working on it. But we have, in every district, we have partnered with NGOs and the local community for the Green Tamil Nadu mission. Basically, the objective is to enhance the green cover from 23.7% to 33% in 10 years. We have already completed 2 years. And we have our mission director over here who actually will be able to answer any questions later. But this is one of the most ambitious greening projects that Tamil Nadu has ever embarked. Next one. We also have the Tamil Nadu Wetlands Mission. Again, not many people would appreciate that wetlands are basically, as we say, the forests are the lungs of a nation. Then wetlands and the marshlands are the kidneys of our beautiful planet. So if you don't take care of the lungs and if you don't take care of the kidneys, what happens to, our planet? The answer or the message is very clear. So here we have taken about 100 wetlands as our goal to kind of restore those wetlands, reconnect, rejuvenate, but more importantly, ensure that the entire ecosystem of these wetlands is rejuvenated. Next one. So I think again Tamil Nadu is the only state in the country which also has very professionally undertaken the economic valuation of wetlands. Uh, Not many people understand what is the value of a marshland. You just look at it and you just think it's any kind of a water body. It's not like that. If you had to put a value to a wetland, you will be surprised. And 80 wetlands in Tamil Nadu have been prioritized and identified, and economic valuation has been done and it's a huge number, which is about 589 million US dollars, is the current worth of ecosystem services which are provided by these 80 prioritized wetlands. If I tell you that Tamil Nadu has 40,000 wetlands, what will you think? Just 80 wetlands are offering this much of value. So for any country to be climate resilient, for any country to be really powerful and have a sustainable growth, you cannot ignore wetlands. They have to be an integral part of your policy framework. Next one. Yeah, the climate change mission. And I'm very proud to say that we are the only state in the country where we have very focused approach on 4 missions. I spoke to you about 2 missions already, which is the Green Tamil Nadu mission, Wetlands mission. This is our 3rd mission, which is the climate change mission. And we have the district climate mission set up under the leadership of our district collectors. The DFOs are here. The district forest officers are the first ever climate officers of India, first time appointed in Tamil Nadu. We have and the first time I'm very proud to present to you our green fellows. We have 40 green fellows who are seated over here. They are the Honorable Chief Minister. They have been selected under the Honorable Chief Minister's Green Fellowship Program. So they represent that young generation. They represent that green thinking power that our country needs to create. And we have taken very powerful steps in this direction, because just imagine, this scholarship is for 2 years. And after 2 years, when we get these green fellows with a fantastic orientation at the grassroots level, you have this young green thinking integrated into our project. And I think they can be taken by several industries, to kind of lead their green initiatives. And also we have the programs. I'm not going into the details for the paucity of time. The 25 green schools. We are also setting up 4 carbon neutral hubs, or the districts as you may call them. So we have Nilgiris, we have Coimbatore, we have Virdunagar, and Rajapalayam is our pilot district. And Nirmala will be talking about Rajapalayam in a little bit more detail. And we have Rameshwaram. So these are the carbon neutral hubs, which also have a lot of connection with people. So we are in the process of developing those carbon neutral hubs. Also the climate smart villages. At this point of time, we have 11 climate smart villages, but our objective is to have all the villages kind of joining this particular program. Next one. Yeah, so I already spoke about it. We can go to the next thing, please. Yeah, this is the launch of the Honorable CM's Green Fellowship Program. Next one. We also have a climate studio, and perhaps again, the only state in the country to have set up an apex level climate studio. I mentioned to you earlier that our program is based on data and science. We have 20 young scientists, and I would request industries, those who are present here, if they need any kind of information and data about the climate modeling for a particular region, they are most welcome to access the data from our climate studio. And this climate studio is run in Anna University. It has already done sectoral vulnerable assessment and the risk assessment for 6 important sectors, and that includes agriculture, water, it includes forestry, biodiversity, industries, whatever areas that you want to have the information, they will be able to provide this information to you. Next one. I spoke about the climate smart villages. The first village that we are taking up is Pichavaram. Again, the bottoms up approach is being followed, to make these villages climate resilient. Next. This is our 4th mission. And the 4th mission is not yet launched. We are in the process of preparing the 4th mission, but this is basically a coastal resilient mission, or you would like to call it as the Tamil Nadu coastal mission. Tamil Nadu has a coastal length, the 2nd largest coastline in India, which is 1,076 kilometers, 14 coastal districts in our beautiful state, and several initiatives that you can see are here, but I just would like to highlight one or two, which is about the mangroves, seagrass, and the blue carbon solutions. Now, talking about mangroves and seagrass and corals, it is extremely important for all of us to understand that if you lose this beautiful biodiversity, you're not going to get this back again, and that can be devastating. Therefore, we have a plan to restore all the mangroves, wealth that we have in Tamil Nadu. We have about 40 square kilometers of mangroves in Tamil Nadu, and our plan to add 60 square kilometers, plus it has some data about the restoration also. So about 60 square kilometers is what of mangroves is what we will be adding. Here, there is a potential of the carbon credits, which the industries may be interested in towards a sustainable growth. And that is when it is important for me to mention that we are also a state which has almost finalized the carbon credits policy. So it is in circulation stage at this point of time, but we are very confident that in a shorter period of time, we should be able to lay a very, very good framework for the, for industries to access carbon credits. But once again, I always mention this, carbon credits are not only carbon credits, they are also biodiversity credits. And we are in a process of ensuring in our carbon policy that communities get the maximum benefit out of this carbon trading that we might be doing. Next one. Yeah, so I've already spoken about it and the time is limited, so I'll skip this slide. Next one. I spoke about the Green Climate Fund, 1,000 crores. Please, next one. Yeah, this is something which is very important. When you go down to the exhibition area, you will see that we have a grassroots intervention initiative that we are planning to introduce, which is an eco pod. Many of you would have heard about it earlier also. We have a very important aspect that we need to look at, which is a huge strength of SHG women. We have about in fact, this data is hidden, so let me read it out for you. About 198 billion US dollars of worth of microcredit has been obtained by the SHG women in Tamil Nadu, and that actually details the kind of strength that we have. So we want to build on climate resilient, taking these women into account and using basically, kind of collaborating them. I think that's the correct word. Next one. So 500 ecopods is what we plan to introduce. Next one. Yes, there is a small film on that. Can we have
Earth's clock is ticking. Every effort counts in the fight against climate change. Climate change doesn't wait. It demands action now. Our planet's future hinges on our choices. Climate change demands action, and these women are answering the call. In Tamil Nadu, a movement is brewing. Women from self help groups are becoming climate warriors. Empowered with electric vehicles, these women are turning entrepreneurs, championing green initiatives, and advocating for change. They drive e autos, not just to sell eco alternatives, but to ignite conversations on climate change and sustainable living. With painted vehicles and persuasive messages, they are reshaping mindsets, urging action for a greener tomorrow. These women are more than entrepreneurs, they are ambassadors for a sustainable future. Join their movement, support these climate warriors. The future is in their hands. Climate warriors, pioneering change, empowering future.
Thank you. Next one. I think we can just finish quickly. We have maybe 2 more slides. Next one, please. Yeah, I think we can skip this slide. We can go to the e-waste film. I just would show you 2 films and then we can close it. Yeah, just go back, please. Yeah, this is something that I wanted to talk about. Just a previous slide. Our Mindum Manjapai initiative. If you look at this entire plastic initiative in Tamil Nadu, we have been able to kind of bring an integrated program and, yeah, this one. So we have so far, as per our annual report, about 17,185 tons of plastic has already been recycled. And I'd like to show you a small film of the Garnier unit, which has set up a plastic recycling plant over here in Manali area. Can we have the film, please? Yeah, so this is about basically, the recycling initiatives that are going on. We spoke in the beginning of the presentation about the circularity in action. And I have two more films that I would like to show you, just 1 minute each, and which is about how industries which are located in Tamil Nadu can partner, collaborate with the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board to bring circularity in action. And here is a short film on e-waste. 5,000 tons of copper in a year and about 51 kilograms of gold or whatever was mentioned. That should excite people. So all the phones that we have in our hands, or the laptops that we use, or the desktop that we use, and we throw it so carefully, I mean carelessly, you could actually extract all these valuable materials out of it. So this is a plant that has been set up. We have 6 similar plants set up in Tamil Nadu. We also have the construction and demolition waste management plans which have already been set up. We, Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board has, are we showing this film? Yeah, construction and demolition waste. I think we can avoid it because the time is up. So I like to finish. You can go to my last slide. Yeah. So I think the time is short. So maybe, sometime later, or those who are interested, we can send you the link of the presentation. But I just wanted to mention here that it is extremely important for all of us to understand that without a very resilient, climate, any kind of a sustainable growth is not possible. So here are the initiatives which are highlighted in one particular slide, which is greenhouse gas inventory already made ready. Pathway to net zeros are going to be drafted after we get the GHG inventory. We also have several other grassroots initiatives, and this is just a snapshot of what we are doing. Rest we can discuss at the time of the question and answer, and I take this opportunity to thank you for your patience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. To present the keynote address, I'd like to introduce to all of you a big believer of sustainable choices and practices it diligently as well. She's someone who's embraced these values long before they were trendy and mainstream, not just in her life, but also in her work. Her fondness for her hometown of Rajapalyam is unrivaled, and she's a strong force behind Ramco's community services program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a very, very warm welcome to one of the humblest human beings that I know, Tirumati Nirmala Raja, ma'am.
Namaste to everyone.
Can I get this? Just a bit. But that's okay. I'll speak for it. I got this here. His Excellency the Governor, my beloved CG Agasan, and all the dignitaries who've joined us today from Japan. First of all, let me welcome you all. This is a very special day for us. This has been an amazing global investors meet. The journey of Japan and Tamil Nadu is not something which started very recently. We have been involved with each other in trades for decades, for centuries. Our relationship with Japan is also culturally linked. We are very similar people. I would like to speak slowly because His Excellency, the translator, is just filling in to the governor. So our relationship is deeply culturally rooted. Many of you also know that our family cultures are similar. Our respect for elders is similar. And right now in this global investors meet, I would also highlight how our work ethics are similar, how we are dedicated to work. The talent pool in Tamil Nadu is most sought after because we worship work. The retention of talent in industry in Tamil Nadu is the highest in India. You go to places like Bengaluru or Telangana and Hyderabad, you will see a lot of hopping. But that doesn't happen much in Tamil Nadu. Yes, everybody wants to improve their lives. They want to move on to higher positions. But the Tamil talent, the people here in Tamil Nadu, when they like their jobs, they worship it and they make sure MD guidance is here. No, you can sit here, sir. No, please. So we make sure that our investors, our bosses gain out of our talent. We make sure that we contribute to that industry, to that workplace. And we are not satisfied if we are just sitting around, idling around. No. Just like the Japanese people, just like the people of Japan. All of us in Tamil Nadu have grown up listening to stories about how the Japanese people came out of Hiroshima, how they pulled themselves up, how they stood up against such a huge man-made disaster. That inspirational story, I'm sure everybody in the world talks about it. But here in Tamil Nadu, we talk about it very regularly. Everybody is told, look at Japan, look at how they came out of a nuclear bomb. And rightly so, Tamil Nadu has a partnership with Hiroshima and Osaka also, and then we have a tie-up with now Kochi probably, and many other prefectures are also lining up to tie up with Tamil Nadu. And that is because of the work ethics of Tamil Nadu. That is because of the fact that of 12 Japanese industrial clusters in India, 3 are in Tamil Nadu. And I'm sure these 3 are the safest also. I had a very beautiful story when I keep repeating this, but it was so beautiful and moving that in one of our dinners at Taga-san's house, a person from Yamaha, right? Yamaha, he came up and he said, I just want to say one thing about Tamil Nadu. It's been 8 years since I've come here, and I have a daughter who goes to school. Every morning, I don't have to think about the safety of my daughter. She gets up, she goes to work, she goes to school, and she comes back on her own. There's no need for me or anybody to go along with her. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest compliment that the state of Tamil Nadu can get. A foreigner coming and living in a metropolitan city, in a faraway country, says that he doesn't have to think twice about the safety of his daughter. Now, this is not something which many cities, many places in the world, even developed nations can say. But Tamil Nadu, in Tamil, the Tamil people, that's us. That's us. And I think that is our biggest strength because we care for others and we treat every single being on this planet as equal and as one. And that is why you see in Tamil Nadu, the women workforce participation is so high. If you want to look at DEI, you cannot look further than Tamil Nadu. You cannot look at other states. We tick all the boxes. We are the most diverse, equitable, and inclusive government. And this government, under our Chief Minister, is making sure that you get all that is possible, all that is needed to make sure that your products, when they go out of Tamil Nadu, they have the stamp of approval. And whoever is buying it can say that this came from a state which is the greenest, which also is a big plus. But beyond all that, Tamil Nadu is a fantastically vibrant. We have a fantastic, vibrant, inclusive culture. You know, you've seen the investors meet today. You've seen the kind of people that come in. We are unmatched in talent. We are unmatched in the source of power that you use for your industry, which is very important today. 50% of our energy is green. We are pushing that higher and higher every day. More solar is being added, more wind is being added, offshore wind is being tapped, pump storage is being looked at. We are going the hydrogen way. So this is Tamil Nadu for you. the most urbanized state in India, the most advanced state in India, and the only state with 45,000 factories in India. And this, the second place will go to somebody who has 28,000 factories. So by far the most progressive and the most developed state in India is Tamil Nadu. And you'll all know, and most of you know that most of you have been here for a long time. And some of you who have come from Japan, even after the terrible disaster that the tsunami struck you, I'm extremely thankful for all of you for having taken time to come here. And please take the stories about Tamil Nadu to the world. Please tell the Japanese people that we are ready. And we are also, I'll just give you one last line of support. Like you bring in your investments, we are also planning to export a lot of talent. When my chief minister and myself were there in Japan recently, the government there had asked us to give them talent pool which has
is keen on strengthening cooperation with Tamil Nadu government. Throughout this, today, Mr. Hirofumi Ichisaka, Senior Executive Director, International Relations from Osaka Prefecture Government, will deliver a letter from Governor of Osaka, Mr. Hirofumi Yoshimura. May I request Ichisaka-san to come up to the dais and yes, the hand over the yes, letters. Thank you very much. And the last, but not the least, the Hiroshima Prefecture government signed MOU with the government of Tamil Nadu last November. Based on this MOU, that they dispatched these delegations to participate in this event. I'd like to request Mr. Hiroyoshi Funaishi, Associate Director of Foreign Business from Hiroshima Prefecture, to come up to the dais and show that MOU signed with the government of Tamil Nadu. So everybody has 3 delegates from 3 pictures. Please come up to the dais and have a group photo of all. Yes, Isaka-san, yes, and everybody. People, everybody, please give a big applause to the. Thank you very much, everybody. Yes. Well, thank you much. So please come down to the ground floor. Osaka video is Well, thank you very much, the minister and Mr. Commissioner. Now he's leaving next appointment, so please give him a big round of applause. Well, thank you very much. Please have a seat. So we are going back to that resume that the session, and well, Osaka video is now possible to project now. If possible, please project now with audio. Projection change. Yes, this is the video that Mr. Isaka-san wanted to do. sorry that again that the volume, the audio is not come out. The stuff, the sound is not, no. Switch on the sound, then. So after, well, the remaining the program is that the Kochi prefecture session and well, the THK's presentations. I'm considering to have the Osaka video, then THK presentation, then Kochi presentations, Kochi sessions. So it seems that the sound, that the video again cannot project now. So well, now that we will ask the THK people to have a presentation now. Well, the THK people, thank you very much for waiting and sorry for inconvenience. Well, please have our presentations.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ishihara of THK. In first, I would like to express my deep thanks to Mr. Taga, Council General, for giving us this good opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Taga. You may not familiar with THK. We are producing linear motion guide, which is very important machine component element, production. So every machinery has a linear motion, rotation motion, and this combination. Linear motion guide is supporting this linear movement. We developed this linear motion guide in 1971. At that time, no competitor. We used to have 100% market share in the world. So this map showing our facility in the world. So our headquarters located in Tokyo, Japan. Red dot showing our manufacturing facility. White color showing our sales facility. So in Asia, Europe, North America, South Africa. So we have 37 manufacturing plants in the world. and 122 sales offices in the world. THK is a top brand in this segment. So now I want to pass our THK India activity to my staff, Mr. Furusawa.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Furusawa. Let me just quick explanation. THK India. Since 2012, we have a total 5 branch in India. Then, fortunately, 2020, our dream came true. Our manufacturing plant in India, make in India. So total staff is 40%, and the Japanese total 3%. Our segment mainly 2 division, industry machinery division and automobile parts division. In India, our main customer is almost industry machinery division. Please next. Next. What is industry machinery division? We have consumer goods and capital goods, but in India, our main customer is general industry and machine tool industry and special purpose machine industry, such as those customers. But we would like to more expand our new business in India. So from now on, our staff, Mr. Nishant and Mr. Krish, explain to you our new business activity in India.
So good morning to everyone. My name is Krishnamurthy. I am the South Regional Manager for THK India Private Limited. So quickly I will go to explain so how THK is associated with the government projects. So very recently we have been working with most of the government projects as well as DRDO projects, and also our linear motion guideways and Boscos is associated with so many private sectors which is directly connected to the government projects. So for such companies also we are working very closely. And this is the very success story you must be heard, Chandrayaan-3. So very recently we have been associated with ISRO, and we have supplied our linear motion guideways, cam followers, link balls to the antenna. So where the recollecting will be happen, and it can pass on the signals to the rockets. So this is the video we can able to see. So the transfer line of the rocket, we have been associated with ISRO, and we have supplied our linear motion guideways, which is more than 85 sizes. So it can give the precise transformation from one place to another place. So it can be accumulated, and it can give proper stand up, and the rocket can take off. So we have done these projects very frequently with the ISRO. And this is very, proud moment even for THK to associate with such kind of a successful story with the government of India. So although even though only not for the rocket, even with the spacecrafts, so our Boscos as well as linear motion gateways is going to be associated to capture the pictures from the satellites. So we have been supplied our regular Boscos as well as the linear motion gateways for this one. So if you can go through this one, so this is the passengers inside the the rockets where it goes to the space. So we have been associated with not only with the ISRO, so our product has been used in NASA also. One of the customers who is located in Coimbatore, so he's making such kind of product, and which can be supplied to ISRO as well as to the NASA. So, and yeah, THK is very proud for doing such kind of products. Yeah, so this is the satellite integrated fixtures where you can see. So we have been supplied the biggest sizes of LM guideways with longer length. As you can see, it's so not only for the satellites, so we are also associated with most of the DRDO projects where DRDO is producing radar systems. In the radar systems, so for usage of cameras, so we are supplying this one. And also we were associated with so many private companies where they are producing, the carriages of transfer lane of, airplanes as well as other satellites. So this is two of the applications you can able to see that one. So most of localized companies are doing with association of government projects. So where we are supplying our linear motion guideways as well as link balls and other bushers. So as you can see, one of the video where we have been supplied to the metro doors, so the closing and the opening. So you can see, as well as the for the seating systems. So even the chase, so 360, we are supplying our crossover bearings. You can turn 360 and you can able to see. So for that applications also, we are very closely working with private sectors. And this is the passenger line. So when you see the aircrafts, so the passenger will move from their boarding bridge. So for that also crossover bearing to turn the from boarding to the aeroplane adjustment, we are giving our crossover bearings. Yeah, that's it from my end. My colleague Mr. Nishant will continue further. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Nishant from THK India. So next slide, please. Next. So just based on our company vision, next. We are transforming, we are into, as you can see here, medical equipments, automotive industry, seismic devices, diamond cutting machine, warehouse automation, and semiconductor industry. So as you can see here in medical sector, we are supplying some of the most critical components in CT scan machines, like our curve guides, we are the only company in India who is supplying these curvature guides, as well as cross roller rings. Next. Apart from this, we are also supplying in X-ray machine manufacturers also. Next. And of course, the medical robots. So we believe medical robots are the future of medical healthcare advancement systems. And as well as next series of machine would be like next. Next, please. Blood analyzer machines. So in this customer where the space is very less, they are using our miniature series of linear motion guides, and these are used for testing of bloods and all. Next. Okay, so another interesting field is warehouse automation. So basically these are automated medical and also you can say warehouse robots who are using advanced AI technology. Next. Next. One more next. So as you can see in this video, with the help of THK linear motion guides, these robots are able to sustain very heavy loads. At the same time, they are increasing the efficiency as well as performance of these robots. Next. So most of, you can see if you go to the biggest brands in the world like Amazon and Flipkart, you will see such kind of robotic automation at their warehouses. Next. And also you will see our application in high-speed carton shuttle application as well. Next. Here we are supplying our ADG series. Next. Okay. Another sector is semiconductor. Now coming to semiconductor, as we all know, semiconductor is the next booming industry in India. And so THK is supplying to next. Battery manufacturing line industry, where the space is very less and at the same time, these needs to be very accurate and highly precise. Next. And the second segment here will be the glass and face polishing machines. Basically, these are used for manufacturing of polishing and crystal glass services, and these can be used for any smartphone screens and navigation system as well. Next. Next, please. Next. Okay, so now let me show you one of the most interesting sector in India, that is diamond cutting machines. Next. So here, THK provides one of its most unique boss screws for diamond planing machine. The job of this machine is to basically plan and cut a rough cut diamond into a final cut diamonds. Next. You can see the basic difference here, like from a rough cut, the diamond goes to a final face cutting of a final cut diamond. Next. The second process will be the diamond cutting machine. So here you can see this industry is using some of our prestigious next BNK series ball screws, next, as well as our wear guides. The job of this machine is to precisely give the shape of a diamond. Next. Next, please. After that, this is a new technology called CVD. Basically, these machines are also known as chemical vapor deposit. It is used to make a lab-grown diamonds. Next, next, next. After that, coming to the automotive segment, here we are supplying our link balls to two-wheeler industries for shifting of gear pedal application. Next, next. And also we have these are our some of the customers like Honda. Next, next please. Kawasaki, Triumph, and we are supplying for shifting of gear mechanism, as you can see in the screen here. Next. And also these products can also be used in manuring, in planting application as well. Next. So here in this you can see a THK footprint for automotive industry. This journey started in 1971, and as you can see here, now we are catering to almost all the top brands in the world, like Nissan, Ford, BMW, Toyota, Mercedes, Honda. Electric vehicle segment also. Here we have developed few critical components like in-wheel motors.
Having invented the linear motion guide in 1972, we have been the global pioneer of developing the linear motion system worldwide. THK's first LM guide model, LSR, is registered at the National Museum of Nature and Science in Japan, in recognition of bringing about significant technological development in industrial manufacturing. Guided by the philosophy of providing innovative products to the world, THK has 37 fully equipped manufacturing facilities, 3 development bases, and 120 strategic sales bases, which makes us the torchbearer of linear motion technology in the world. As part of our strategy of full-scale globalization, we have extended our geographical range to encompass India. Keeping up our rich tradition and legacy, THK India Private Limited has set up a robust manufacturing plant at Sri City, with world-class integrated business city local system technology and expertise to develop original products based on extensive research and development. This facility would cater to the requirements of our valuable customers in India, who are on the lookout for high-quality parts for machine tools, industrial automation, medical equipment, semiconductor manufacturing equipment, and other types of industrial machinery. Our experienced workforce, advanced production equipment and quality control mechanism paves the way for more excellent uniformity and precision in all our deliverables. We leverage state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities and machinery to develop high-quality linear motion products, such as LM guide, ball screw, actuator, cross roller ring, ball spline, linear bushing, cam follower, link ball, that are used in a wide variety of applications such as medical and healthcare devices, printing and packaging machines, robotics and automation, special machinery, industrial automation equipment, and more. In response to evolving business dynamics within India, we have been expanding our sales network throughout the nation by establishing sales offices and channel partners in key states and cities across the country. We also plan to expand our production to the increasing market demands of the near future. We aim to bridge the large gap between the demand for linear motion components and the supply of high-quality parts. With our philosophy of providing innovative products to the world and generating new trends to contribute to the creation of an affluent society, we aim to become one of the world's top 10 manufacturers of essential machinery components.
Okay, this concludes our presentation. By expanding our production item and global production capacity, we believe we can grow together with our customer and contribute the development of India. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much, THK people. And this part, this is all that our part. Well, I really apologize inconvenience and poor management of the projections. And so sorry to bothering that Kochi prefectures. Sincerely, my apologies. So I'd like to now from on proceed to that Kochi sessions. So I want to hand over the mic to the MC of Kochi Prefecture. Well, thank you very much in patience. And our last part, after the Kochi session, I would like to try once again to project the Osaka video. Well, thank you very much.
Meanwhile, I request you all to kindly scan the QR code and complete the feedback form. Thank you. Sorry everyone, the QR codes for the session has been placed on the seat.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the seminar. We will very soon dive into the seminar. We kindly request you all to switch your mobile phones into silent mode. Thank you so much. Now we'll start a seminar in technology exchange on infrastructure development and disaster risk reduction in South India. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to visit us. First of all, I would like to welcome our distinguished and honorable guest, Mr. Seiji Hamada, the Governor of Kochi Prefecture, for giving a warm opening address.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce myself? My name is Seiji Hamada, Governor of Kochi Prefecture, Japan. I'd like to make some short address before the seminar begins. Let me speak in Japanese. Thank you. 本日はお忙しい中、多くの皆さんの方々にこのインフラ開発防災のための技術交流セミナー in 南インドにお集まりいただきまして、心から御礼を申し上げます。
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all of you who took time out of your busy schedule to attend this technology exchange seminar for infrastructure development and disaster prevention in South India.
このセミナーの開催にあたりまして、多大なご協力をいただきましたタミルナド州政府、在チェンナイ日本国総領事館、そしてジェトロチェンナイの皆様に心より深く感謝を申し上げます。
I would like to express my deep gratitude to the government of Tamil Nadu, the Consulate General of Japan in Chennai, and the JETRO Chennai for the generous cooperation in organizing this seminar.
先ほどお披露目をさせていただきました通り、高知県の商工労働部とガイダンスタミールなどは MOU を締結をいたしました。この MOU に基づきまして、高知県はタミルナド州への投資の促進と円滑化、そして大学連携などによります研究とイノベーション、さらには貿易の多様化とサプライチェーンの強靭化、そして産業技術の紹介普及、さらには人材や文化交流に関する協力、こうしたさまざまな分野でタミルナド州と高知県との連携を深めてまいります。
As announced earlier, Kochi Prefecture, Department of Commerce, Industry and Labor, and guidance of Tamil Nadu have signed an MOU. Based on this MOU, Kochi Prefecture will promote and facilitate investment in Tamil Nadu, research and innovation through university collaboration, diversify trade and strengthen supply chains, introduce and disseminate industry and technology, and develop human resources. We will deepen our cooperation with the state of Tamil Nadu in all areas as cultural exchange and cooperation.
このセミナーが MOU 締結した後、初めてのイベントとなります。2つの団体、タミルナド州と高知県の2つの団体の交流の契機となることを期待をいたしております。
This seminar is the first event since the sign of MOU, and we hope that this will bring an opportunity for interaction between the two organizations.
さて、私たちは本日初めてインドで防災に関する技術セミナーを開催をいたします。このセミナーはメイドイン高知のインフラ開発、そして防災に関する製品、技術を紹介をさせていただきます。グローバルインベスターズミートの中での意見交換などを通じまして、高知県とインドとの間の防災に関する取り組みの発展に資することを目的として開催をいたします。
For the first time, we will be holding a technical seminar on disaster prevention in India. This seminar will introduce products and technologies that contribute to Made in Kochi infrastructure development and disaster prevention. The purpose of this event is to contribute to the development of disaster prevention efforts in Kochi Prefecture and India through the exchange of opinions within the Global Investors Meet.
高知県は日本の南部太平洋側に位置しております。北は四国山地、南は太平洋を望む自然豊かな場所であります。特に海、山、川の幸に恵まれまして、食べ物が非常においしい土地でもあります。一方で台風、集中豪雨など幾度となく大きな自然災害に見舞われてまいりましたし、南海トラフ大地震の発生も切迫をしていることが伝えられております。
Kochi Prefecture is located on the Pacific coast of Japan and is a place which is rich in nature with views of the Shikoku Mountains on the north and the Pacific Ocean to the south. This area is especially blessed with bountiful products from the sea, mountains and rivers, and the food is extremely delicious. On the other hand, the country has been repeatedly hit by major disasters, and such as typhoons, torrential rains,
このような中、高知県ではこれまでの災害を受けた被災の経験から得られました知見を生かしまして、防災力の向上に対する新しい製品、そして技術が県内の企業でから多く生み出されております。特に土木、建築の分野におきましては、オンリーワンの技術を持つ企業が多数存在しています。中でもこの後に発表させていただきます技研と高知丸高はいずれも工期が短くて安価で防災に役立つ技術を持ちます世界に誇れる企業であります。このような高知の企業の技術は高知県内はもとよりでありますが、日本全国でもすでに広く活用され、そして海外にも広がっているところであります。
Under these circumstances, in Kochi Prefecture, many new products and technologies that contribute to improving disaster prevention capabilities are being carried by companies within the prefecture, making use of the knowledge gained from the past disaster experiences. In the field of civil engineering in particular, there are many companies with unique technologies, and among them Giken and Kochi Marutaka, which will be announced later, are world-class companies that have short construction times, low cost, and useful technology for disaster prevention. The technology of Kochi companies is widely used not only in Kochi Prefecture, but also throughout Japan and is spreading overseas.
このセミナーがインドにおきます防災やインフラ整備の取り組みに必ずお役に立てることと期待をいたしますとともに、今回ご出席をいただきました皆様方のますますのご活躍とご発展を祈念をいたしまして、私からのご挨拶をさせていただきます。
We hope that this seminar will be of help to the disaster prevention and infrastructure development efforts in India. And I would like to offer my greetings and wish everyone who attended this seminar continued success and development.
Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable information. It's an absolute honor for being an integral part of this occasion. Now I would like to move on to the seminar. Today we shall have a presentations about the products and technologies from two companies of Kochi Prefecture related to disaster prevention. First of all, I would like to invite Mr. Tomataka Hirose, Assistant Manager from Giken Seisakusho Asia Private Limited, Singapore office, for the presentation.
Okay, thank you for your warm introduction. So, we are from Giken. I'm here for Giken Asia, based in Singapore, working as a civil engineering manager. So, as my presentation, I present the innovative engineering solutions using passive method. Okay, please next. Okay, here is today's agenda. I don't have much time to explain about our all of Giken products and solutions, so I'm going to focus on these main topics that are company profile, Giken product, case studies, and the automated parking facility, which is also our parking package system. Okay, then before moving to main topics, I'd like to explain about what type of material is applied by Giken product under material applications, under also the why the silent pattern was developed. Okay, this is one of materials we normally use. It's called the steel sheet pile. Sheet pile are the section of the sheet materials with interlocking edge that are driven into the ground to provide earth retention and excavation support, and also secure the water tightness. The sheet pile are most commonly made of steel, and most commonly used in temporary structure. And this is one of typical way of the material application. Then the sheet piles are driven into the ground before constructing main structure, such as the drainage, like this slide, and the box culvert or water and pipe installation. Then the copoderm. One of the purpose of the copoderm is to exclude the water and the soil and the water from the inside of the copoderm to build, such as a foundation pier and so on. Then water from structure, it can be applied such as seawall, and coastal protection against the earthquake and tsunami and erosion. Also, when it comes to river project, river bank and river revetment against the flash flooding. Then it can be also the underground structure, sheet pile, building basement, including a car park. Okay, it's not crystal clear photo, but it shows the high economic growth in Japan between 1954 and 1970. So during this period, numerous infrastructure projects had been implemented. So the construction boom came up. However, back in the day, the sheet piling work was normally carried out percussion hammer and vibratory hammer, so which generate noise, huge noise and vibration. Then the rapid completion of the project was mandatory in order not to stop the economic activity at the time. Then it's without consideration of the construction pollution. So this problem drive people crazy, and the people suffered from health damage due to hearing noise and vibration, feeling the vibration. Then 24/7. So that's why our founder of GCAN saw that sheet piling work was essential to protect the buildings and to support excavation work. However, this type of method has to be smarter and more environmentally friendly. So in 1975, first pressing piling machine called silent piler was developed in Japan, and this is the first model of silent piler for GCAN. That is one practical side. So look, sheet piling by silent piler was carried out quite near the houses, mitigating noise and vibration. So it makes the people happy, and we could provide a comfortable life to their residents, even during a steel operation. So we have evolved many types of silent piler. Then we are now world-leading manufacturer on pressing piling machine. So the middle of the blue color silent piler is cutting-edge model. GCAN has provided the machine sales, including rental services and the pressing piling work. Our company has a construction company. Then to show the actual pressing work to the main contractor and the authority when we make a new machine and a new system. We have actively worked both international and Japan domestic market. As Governor of Kochi mentioned, GCAN Ltd has headquarters is in Kochi Prefecture of Japan, which is the same name of India. Also, our construction company based in Kochi. Then GCAN is in Singapore, where I work. Then we have a Singapore office and a Thailand representative office. We have covered South and Southeast Asian market to promote and to explore our solutions. Then Geek in Europe, in Almere, Netherlands, they have Almere and the Berlin office in Germany. This is an overview of the branch offices. There are Shanghai office in China and the Geek America Corporation in Holland. Well, Silent Parallel has tremendous advantages. But on this presentation, I'd like you to memorize the 3 key features. Number 1, noise and vibration free. And number 2, compact design and minimum force. Number 3, self-working function. Okay, you will see the 3 of advantages on the next couple of slides. Now we are going to see how the silent parallel works smoothly and works silently. Silent parallel continues the upward and downward motion to install the steel sheet pile. The water pouring the beaker doesn't shake, so which means no vibration at all. I hope it works the sound, but it doesn't work the sound. So what the video would like to say is the silent parallel design on compact and pretty practical concept of design compared to the other bigger type of the machine. That is a silent parallel. So this is a number 3 key point, self-working function. And each parallel has a claw to grip the sheet pile to be installed. Then based on thanks to the gripping the previously installed piles, we could obtain the huge reaction force from the earth. Then after installation, it's hard to remove the sheet piles because of the pressure bar. Then we obtain the reaction force from the sheet piles to be installed. Then the silent parallel continues the work. This is one of the sequence for the installation work. Of course, there are several penetration technology available from the soft soil and the hard ground soil. They overcome their several soil. Soil is not only one type. There are several types of the soil available in the world, like a cobble and gravel and rock strata, and also the medium depth and ground conditions. Those right side 2 type, water jetting mode and super crush mode, are driving assistance to attack those standard mode. So now I'd like to explain about some applications. We have finally a project in India, so located in the Odisha state, India. So one of the purpose of the project is making a box culvert. Then again to protect from the flash flooding, then to improve the human life. Then look at this left side slide. Sheet pile alignment is quite near the houses, so we have to care about the noise and vibration. That's why, because there are other packages, someone did a vibratory hammer, and there are lots of complaints. Now, it's my first appearance in the Indian local newspaper, and according to the newspaper, people are happy because of the no vibration and noise, and silent parallel has been contributed to improve the human life and city development. I was so happy when I received this information. So because it's one of our goals to improve our human life and city development, keeping people wellness. Then this is a type improvement work in Ayutthaya, Thailand, which is one of famous tourist sites in Thailand. So this is it's first time for Giken our methodology accepted in the public project. This is also one of purpose of the sheet piling wall is to protect the flooding and to save the resident houses on the right side. Then for the excavation work, we have also agreement with Amsterdam, Netherlands, about the keyword innovation work. And in Europe, as I told, based in the Almere, so under contractor and civil engineering firms has been awarded on this project. So the project locate is the heart of the Amsterdam city. So then we have used the latest model of the silent pillar. Okay, also this is a containment barrier wall in Brazil. This wall was built to protect the city from the dam. Once the dam water of the dam was outflowed after heavy rain. So moving on the new technologies, this is one of packages product we call the EcoPark and EcoCycle. Then there are several whichever you want. This is above ground and underground. Then these system barriers are environmentally friendly solutions and easy and safety operation and no safety risk because nobody go into that. I hope you hear the sound. I'm not sure. Okay, it's no sound. This is one product we call the EcoCycle. Our concept is a culture above ground and a foundation underground. This is EcoCycle and EcoCycle, which is an automated parking lot system. We also
which contributes to creating a community that anyone would want to live in.
Can you try one more time?
Even in metropolitan areas, we are proceeding with creating new urban spaces utilizing this method. With the concept of culture above ground, function underground, there is the EcoCycle and EcoPark, which have been gaining attention in recent years. This is an example of a packaged product using the implant method for an underground bicycle car parking garage, which contributes to creating a community that anyone would want to live in.
Okay, just a short video. So we have achieved a lot of difficulty project, and also that we have promoted under the 5 construction principle, which have to be met when we do our construction work every time. And those are environmental protection, safety, speed, economy, and aesthetics. So that is my presentation. Then you will see another unique system after my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Tomotaka Hirose-san, for your presentation. Next, I would like to invite Mrs. Komachi Takano, advisor from Kochi Marutaka Company Private Limited, for the presentations.
Thank you for the patience. Hello, everyone. My name is Kumachi Takano from Kochima, Osaka. Thank you for inviting us today, and we are very delighted to be speaking with you today. The purpose of this presentation is to outline our company. Next, please. And Kojima Osaka's headquarters is located in Kochi Prefecture, southeast of Japan, established in 1967. Last year, we also established our equipment stretch in Shiga Prefecture, which is located almost in the center of Japan. So this has made the distribution of equipment easier and faster. We have 117 employees, including from Taiwan, China, Myanmar, and Indonesia. We specialize in foundation works, bridge construction, dredging, and disaster prevention, not only in Japan, but also overseas, such as in Myanmar, Uganda, Cambodia, the Philippines, and Nepal, and so on. Especially, we put great efforts into disaster prevention, both domestically and internationally. Working in disaster prevention
to deliver the keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to everybody. Thank you very much to the organizers of the event, particularly our IT&T CEO. I acknowledge here the Additional Chief Secretary of the Department, Dheeraj Kumar, the many heads of departments of all the different verticals in the IT department, some of the other senior IAS officers in the room, all the innovators and learned people on the subject from whom we are to hear on the rest of the session, and all of you, ladies and gentlemen. There's a place when ministers should speak, and there's a place when they should listen. And something like innovation in deep tech and AI, there's not really that much for ministers to speak. So I'll try and keep my comments brief so we can get more time with the experts. As the Secretary said, in some sense, this is the nth coming of AI, the third or the fourth. I remember Deep Blue, I remember the chatbots. I'm old enough to have seen many of these come and go. But what I think makes it different this time, other than the obvious results we see and the quality of the content generated through the generative AI, is that we have such vast amounts of data already available, at least in some languages in some countries. And the possibilities that that kind of data can be created and stored at relatively marginal cost of zero, and therefore that the available content for a machine to learn, for a program to learn, is infinite. Combined with the fact that these days access to really high levels of computing power is quite democratized through the cloud, and even startups for short periods of time can harness huge amounts of computing power at some reasonable cost. What would otherwise cost hundreds of millions of dollars to build regularly can be hired for an hour or a day. I think the combination of these has really unleashed the creativity and the whole approach to how machines and human beings interact. I say many times that my PhD dissertation back in 1990 or 91 was about understanding human cognition and helping to design computer interfaces with that understanding. That is to say, we want to try and make the machine more accessible to the person. And that was the extent of computing power at that time, the average person, the one that doesn't need to be a specialist. We have reached the other end of that spectrum today, where we are training the machines how to be like humans. And we now have the capability of doing that. Obviously, that opens up a whole lot of possibilities. And to touch upon briefly the nature of this double-edged kind of evolution, in job creation versus job destruction. I think clearly many jobs that were done by human beings will be much, much better and faster done and more reliably done by these machines. In my old industry of banking, the amount of work that was done post the mainframe processing of all the reported transactions that required hundreds of human beings to do, AI can probably eliminate all those jobs altogether. And yet, the creation of the content and the creation of the machine learning programming in English language, or in our case in Tamil language and in the regional languages, is going to create a whole lot of new jobs that we have not had before, and provide the possibility of even leapfrogging were we to have the right ecosystem to foster that kind of innovation. Of course, we also see that as much as generative can replace human beings, you can also do a lot of deep fakes. And so authentication of content and origination of source is going to be very important. We have seen election manipulation in many countries through AI level of deep fakes and content manipulation. Somebody gifted me a book, and I was just reading it earlier about how in the Russia-Ukraine war, the battle for Kiev was effectively won by a bunch of programmers who got a bunch of drones together and were able to go and bomb out the advanced parts of a 40-kilometer long convoy of Russian vehicles in such a way that the entire road was blocked, and effectively changed what was otherwise sure defeat into eventual withdrawal of the Russian forces, because then they used the same technology to go and bomb out the supply chain. And so you had troops stuck with no way to go forward and not enough supplies to stay where they were. So this is the disruptive power, because what they could do is train these drones based on some of the camouflage they had detected to identify where other likely camouflaged vehicles and supplies were. So you look at all of this together, and I think this is going to be surely one of those inflection points. In my career, I've seen 2 or 3 of these. The widespread advent of converting analog and digital signals, which led to the ERP revolution and the automation of factories, the internet and email, which led to a different kind of connectivity, the Internet of Things, which led to a different level of automation and efficiency. And this is probably even more impactful than all of that together. As far as the government is concerned, I would say broadly there are 3 areas we're focused on when it comes to deep tech and AI. The first, and by far the most important to somebody like me who comes from a social justice philosophy and the equity and inclusion agenda to public life, is that we can change the way government functions. We can remove a lot of the human elements and the disruption that bad human elements can create in processes. And we should be able to make it so inclusive that even the lowest level of education with voice interaction should be able to get resolution of their requests or needs from the government without having to worry about, running from pillar to post and seeing 10 different officers. So the way government functions and the way government interacts with citizens, we hope will be our primary target for where we can apply these kinds of technologies and improve. Of course, part of government's job is to facilitate or create that kind of ecosystem where entrepreneurs and creative people can facilitate growth and help grow the employment, which is so vital for us as we reap our demographic dividend. And I think in the case of Tamil Nadu, where we have fallen a bit behind other states or other cities, at least in perception and branding, this technology and this paradigm shift offers us the opportunity to leapfrog some of the more traditional players and create a center of excellence or an ecosystem of excellence, not even a center, around AI and deep tech in Tamil Nadu, and use that and the brilliant and very talented and the huge magnitude of engineers and scientists that Tamil Nadu graduates every year to actually leverage the benefits of our education system and get jobs and growth. And then, of course, though it's very hard for states to regulate things at a technological level, it's an international business in some sense, it's a national policy making, but to have inputs in our own way into the regulation and responsible use of such technologies, and to have our responsible our duties to the citizens properly input through these technologies, especially as we fear about the quality of democracy deteriorating in general. So I think with those objectives, I'm here to learn as much as everybody else, and so I won't say much more. It's a very exciting time for us, for the world, for the technology, for the young people, and I hope that in the next 75 minutes or so, we'll all come away from this much more enlightened and with a lot of thought-provoking inputs. And I thank you once again for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was pretty insightful. And thank you for explaining how AI is shaping up the present as well as the future. As mentioned by our secretary, Mr. Dheeraj Kumar IAS, sir, we would like to open the floor for a few questions.
Hi, sir. Such a pleasure seeing you today. I'm Samir Kudur from the US India Business Council. My question to you is, as you know, India today holds the presidency for the Global Partnership on AI. So how big is the role of the states in discussions around GPA presidency? And what are the things as far as regional languages concerned that you can perhaps put across to the central government in order to, incorporate these ideas?
I must confess that we have at least not officially had any interaction yet with the government of India, so it's news to me. What you're telling me is news to me. Of course, we have some of our very fine officers now serving in Delhi, and among others, my old finance secretary, Mr. Krishnan, is the MeitY secretary. So we'll follow up with him. I don't have any insight yet. But I will say that part of the issue with regional languages is that the data set and the existing engines in English are so far advanced that it's going to take a bit of work for us. I mean, we have lots of people, we have a lot of history of the language, we have lots of data as a government, but to get all these into a digitized, machine learnable, and in many cases, voice learnable format is probably going to be one of the big manual tasks, and then even that some can be automated. I've been looking at technologies for that, but to create those data sets will be the basis for getting that level of sophistication that now exists in English into the regional languages, and it's our job to do that because we all want to preserve our mother tongue and our language.
Hello, sir. So follow-up question on that. Is Tamil Nadu government taking any proactive measures here on your left? So is Tamil Nadu government taking any proactive measures? There are some instance of small startups leveraging. Also, there are challenges, concerns raised by the technologists. They say that the inscription or the the way the Tamil is in the internet, it is not easily be encoded into this machine language algorithms or what you call that in tokens. So is Tamil Nadu government working on any of these areas?
Yeah, I think we are broadly in the process of coming up with some incentive and support policies in the IT overall IT space, and certainly as the IT&T CEO mentioned around specific areas like AI. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I must confess that the previous IT policy, which has been around for 5 or 6 years, 5 years, has not had any takers. So something is clearly wrong in the way that our incentive policies were set up, despite the fact that we have seen phenomenal growth. As many of you know, last year, Chennai's office uptake was double the annual average of the last few years before that. So something is a bit off in the way we are setting up these policies. We'll figure out. But in the case of AI companies, I think really it's about access to data, access to computing power, and then the basics of anybody else, to have a startup space, to have power, to have decent infrastructure. The second question I think is a bit more complex. Already there's an issue. Tamil Nadu was one of the early members in the UU code consortium, and we had been moving to come up with all the Tamil text to be machine readable and translatable because of being compliant with UU code for various reasons. And I don't want to talk politically here, but for various reasons, that was not quite done. And a lot of proprietary codes were used and proprietary fonts were used. And so we have a lot of problems, at least with government content, that needs to be fixed. But there's a very clear solution, right? If they're all universal code, they can be translated easily and machine read easily, and the machine learning can be programmed easily. So the more we move towards the standard code fonts, then I think we'll be better off. We had to do that for other reasons anyway. We'll probably push even harder now for these reasons.
Hello, sir. Sir, here on your left.
That will be the last question.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm sophisticated enough to answer a lot of questions. Why don't we get the experts here? So anyway.
Yes, the last question. I'll keep it short. So first of all, big fan. And we've read about how OpenAI uses a lot of water in its data centers. So if India were to, develop one of its own, and given the water shortages in the country, and especially in a state like Tamil Nadu, where we have faced a lot of water problems and like water-based disasters, how would the government go about handling those kind of situations?
Yeah, I'm not sure that AI data centers are going to consume a lot more water than generic data centers. Maybe I'm not well informed, but I think we have a broader problem, which is, and I'll just take a crack at this without enough real depth. One is that data center power and water supply in general, I think, needs to be looked at both from clean energy as well as our overall water utilization is very, very inefficient. Even if you take advanced countries, the amount of recycling they do and the amount of multi-use, multi-reuse, we don't do much of that at all. So our long-term solution has to be not that there's shortage of water, as many of you can tell, is that we don't store it, we don't recycle it, we don't. So we got a structural problem. I'm not sure it's unique for data centers. Data centers, I think, is more important to us for other reasons. But I think the cooling technology also is changing quite a bit. I've started to see a lot more air cooled rather than water cooled, and there's some efficiencies in the design. So I think the broader perspective, at least from government of Tamil Nadu's view, is that we want renewable energy and reusable cooling systems with a lot of recycling cooling systems, and that will be true for data centers as much as it's true for any other purpose. And certainly I don't think we have a separate policy for AI data centers compared to data centers in general.
Hi, I'm Gopi Balasubramaniam. I'm a CEO of a German startup working on quantum computation. My question is, quantum computing is a deep tech technology, and as you know, Europe and other Western countries have export regulations and restrictions. How does India and Tamil Nadu plan to tackle this in this context? Thank you.
I can only give you one instance because I don't know about India. Actually, I can say two things. One, the government of India has sponsored two quantum computing centers. I'm not sure that's actually buying computing power, but maybe to innovate around quantum computing. One has already been allocated to the Northeast. I'm in talks with the government of India to get the other one allocated to Tamil Nadu. Hopefully they will, it's a natural, logical choice, but we will never know. The other aspect is that one of the countries that does particularly well in building quantum computers, as you may know, is Finland, because of their old engineering prowess and so forth. So actually we are in discussions with them for a few months now. Hopefully we'll accelerate those to see if we can procure one from Finland and use that to create some space for startups in the utilization of that and see how we can benefit the ecosystem with that.
Thank you.
Due to time constraint, we will not be able to entertain any more questions. Sorry. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. May I now request Mr. Dheeraj Kumar, IAS Additional Chief Secretary to Government IT and DS Department, and Ms. Vanita Venugopal, the Chief Executive Officer of IT&T Hub, to felicitate the Minister. We'll be beginning the next session shortly. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. We are now moving on to an engaging fireside chat on the ever important topic AI demystified, to demystify the magic of AI, of course. I would like to welcome Mr. Rajendran Tandabani and Mr. Vijay Karunakaran to ignite the minds present in the room. Can I get Mr. Rajendran and Vijay on the dais? Meanwhile, let me briefly introduce them. Mr. Rajendran, a founding member of Zoho Corp, is a business solution evangelist. His vast experience in conceiving and nurturing creative concepts into full-fledged software applications and his role as president at Zoho School of Learning, Zoho's ongoing experiment in alternative education, make him a much sought-after speaker and a panelist. Inspired by the golden age of Apple under Steve Jobs, he believes in aspiring to be insanely great at whatever he and his team takes on. Our second guest is no less. Mr. Vijay Karunakaran is a founder and CEO of Engage Group of Companies, specializing in AI, AR, VR, IoT, and other emerging technologies. Mr. Vijay is an expert emerging technology professional with strong venture capital background with 3 decades of experience. He has been on the boards of various government tech initiatives, including Forest, Environment and Climate Change Department, Tamil Nadu Emerging Sector Seed Fund, and Tamil Nadu Online Gaming Authority. Prior to this, he was the director at Intel US for 15 years. I'll open the floor for you to chat.
Thank you. That was a smart move, sir, seriously. To say the experts are coming, I'll keep my talk. I'm afraid I can't do that. When I first started interacting with Vijay regarding this talk, my first meme hunt was I wanted that Nagesh meme. திருவிளையாடல் கேள்விகளை நீ கேட்கிறாயா அல்லது நான் கேட்கட்டுமா? That was what I was looking for, because frankly, let truth be told, we are all blind people in a dark room looking for a black cat which is not there. Yeah, deep tech, particularly AI, even the things we think we know doesn't seem to be true 10 days from now. So that is the context in which we are starting this interaction. I have some questions to ask him. He has some questions to ask me. We may even throw it up and answer it ourselves. And let's see how this goes. I hope there's a timer running here. Your starting line, if you have an opener.
My opening line is the positives outweigh the negatives. That's what it is. You could talk about all the pitfalls of AI, but I strongly believe through my multiple phases of industrial revolution that I have been through, that the positives outweigh negatives. We should look at things from that perspective.
Right. Let's jump right in then. That was a question I had in mind, underlined once again by our minister, mentioning that English being such a darling baby of the internet and Tamil not much so. And what are we going to do? So that was my question too. This digital divide. I have always felt English was a colonial burden on us. I'm waiting for the time when software engineering can be taught in natural native language. I think we have a big boost because Japanese don't learn programming in English. Germans don't learn programming in English. So they learn through their languages. So I was wondering over time, this resurgence of the native language was going to come, and our schools will start teaching higher technology in Tamil. But with this introduction of a chat GPT or a generative AI, has that gap once again expanded almost uncrossably so? Will we once again have to suffer? Because once upon a time, there was this technological divide, haves and have nots, computers and no computers, then internet and no internet. And always we had to pay homage to the existing lead English had. What happens now once again? What's your thought on that?
So before I get to the answer part of it, let me set the stage. ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT uses around 175 billion parameters to crunch the numbers and to give this as a service to the public. Their computing power. Sad mentioned that computing is the one of the key pillars in any AI. It's the infrastructure, which is the computing, data, right? And of course, the talent. Three are the three pillars of any AI ecosystem, along with governance, of course. So the ChatGPT spends upwards of $20 million a month in crunching the numbers. They use thousands of H100 NVIDIA chips that the ChatGPT 4. Compare that with local regional language. I know Bharat GPT is one of the LLMs that India has developed, and they use close to 30 to 40 billion parameters. So it's very difficult at this stage for startups to compete in that level. And we have to be very careful that we don't feed our regional data, regional insight into our citizens, into the larger language models, because the IP, the privacy is still not well governed at the international level, at the regional level. So it's very important that we put in all the governance as much as possible. So, and I would love to see, we have done some work. What I'm going to talk today is purely based on my experience the last so many years. We have built some language models on Tirukkural. So if you put in some content, it can spit out some Tirukkural-based content, but it requires a good bunch of computing power. So I would love to see it, but I think for a startup to have that kind of funding resources to compete, it's going to be really hard. I think it's very important for the government to come and step in, regional state, Tamil Nadu state, to come and step in and own that data set, including the Tamil language and things like that.
So generative AI seems to be all about the number of parameters, and we are waiting for the time when it is not going to be just the quantity, but the quality of the connections too. Zoho, my own personal example, we pretty modest. We are in the millions even today. 200 million parameters is what we are working with. And 240, 250 GPUs, not the hundreds and thousands of GPUs that typical companies usually use. And that is where Sam Altman's message about challenging an Indian company, bring it on and so on, was really misconstrued when we took it up as a wrong message, as if he was thumbing the nose at us. But I think there is an opportunity for narrow generative intelligence where it is deep, it is contextual, it is relevant to the protected data set that you talked about. Because if you are in a CRM, for example, the database should not even look at the other company's data that the same cloud architecture is hosting. So there are very interesting challenges ahead. And the only message I would like to pass on at this moment to any company, not even in the business of AI, but in the business of software, in the business of working with your customers, collect every damn thing, all data. Be very careful about protecting it sanctimoniously, but collect everything. You never know where the next gold mine is. Be very careful about it. Follow all GDPR and other regulations, but never ignore even a sneeze from the customer, COVID notwithstanding.
I would like to quote one of the conversation I had with a customer just a few months back. So the customer said, we need to build a system where I would like to ask the computer. Hey, computer, I would like to see the shop floor. And I would like to see what the top issues that I have to deal with today, right? So that's kind of work that we are doing right now. And this customer runs a large factory in the US. So what is involved behind it? Just let me break it down. Generative AI is very involved in it. Digital twin is involved in it. So what happens is we have to first build a digital twin of the entire factory. Then we have to connect various subsystems using IoT sensors, and we have to collect those data back to the digital twin so we could do a real-time 3D rendering. Right? Until generative AI kicked in, one of the largest challenge of metaverse. I'm not a big fan of Decentraland and other things. I'm not a big fan. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm a true believer, and there is a real ROI behind a digital twin, right? Where you could simulate the actual factory in 3D and predict and see and visualize what could go wrong. I'm a big fan of that. So a typical the one of the biggest challenge blockade for metaverse is cost of building content and generate AI. A typical a task that was taking probably a week of man hours could do it probably in an hour's time, right? So that's the beauty of it. So and trying to combine and visualizing using AR, VR, or HoloLens. I could be even a holographic the way Iron Man used to visualize things, right? So all it's going to happen in the moving along. And the current world, which is a 2D world, is changing rapidly into a 3D world. And for that, generative AI is the key element that's going to drive the entire 3D simulation of a world around it.
All right. I'm going to come to skilling.
Sure.
Both of us are in our own ways involved in it. But before that, you are playing multiple roles with the government of India and the government of Tamil Nadu. So my question to you specifically, probably a devil's advocate kind of question, is do startups really have a chance to compete in a level playing field in the deep tech domain? Because whenever we say deep tech, it is heavy investment, huge research, long game marathon, and shot in the dark, which is probably why there aren't as many as startup software agencies as there are in deep tech.
Right.
So what is the government doing about it? What is the outlook? And what hope do Indian startups have to compete in that? I read an article just yesterday. Professor Kamakoti had mentioned 2024 is not just the year of AI. He had mentioned 3 technologies, and all of them fall conveniently in the deep tech space. The first one is space itself. He says it being privatized now, there are going to be a burgeoning thing there, and AI, of course, and med tech, he mentions. So what are your thoughts, and what is the government doing?
Once again, I'm not the government. I sit in the.
But you work with them.
I
Yes.
sit as advisor.
It's better to learn about what the government is doing from people like you.
I'm a tech advisor to the Tamil Nadu
Exactly.
Forest and Environmental Department. So in that position, so I drove the architecture for the elephant tracking AI system in Madhukarai. Is going to get deployed very, very soon. Is based on computer vision. So I work with the Forest Department in the other AI-based stuff. So I try to bring in my expertise over the last 20 decades of experience, right? So I think there's a lot of work happening from the Forest Department in terms of AI. Other things I wouldn't know. And I don't want to comment on, especially in front of the HODs.
Let's move on to skilling then.
Yeah, skilling is an area that is pretty
you work with thousands of students. I work with hundreds of students, all of them in the cusp of their career. You probably fill a gap. I provide an alternative path. So what do each of us have to say?
So before I get there, right, I think, there's a lot of fear about people losing jobs and things like that, right? So I think we have gone through the computer revolution, and there's a repositioning of jobs. That's what happened. That's what's going to happen now. That is a data set that says only 5% of any job can be completely automated, only 5%. The remaining and probably 30% of jobs can be automated, close to 30-40%. Having said that, there has to be and there will be a human touch to it, right? And that is the repositioning of the current jobs that is there in the market right now. And there are new roles coming into play in terms of data science, data engineer, DevOps engineers, and that's what we do. So we are one of the large training partner for state of Tamil Nadu in terms of non-Mudalvan. So we teach close to 30-40,000 students every semester, and generative AI, data science, analytics are one of the courses that we teach. I think talent is there. The talent is there. Probably the depth is what is missing. I think we need to solve that. So
I need to check your glasses. I don't know if they are rose tinted, because I have a much more depressive view of the things to come. See, 10 years from now, there may be 100 times more jobs, more avenues. Probably there doesn't even need to be a job. Why do humans have to work as an angle? I'm an artist. I take care of my parents. Could be a job eventually. Probably that time is yet to come. But for the majority of us in the age group of 30 to 50, we don't have the luxury to wait 10 years for the things to settle down. This is what I told my colleagues and my friends when COVID year number 2 was running. I told them things are going to get a lot worse before they start getting better. And that is the phase I think we are in with respect to the displacement that AI is impacting on all of us as business runners, as employees, as learners, as students. And I think the authorities at both the private and the government need to take cognizance of this. And yes, some bit of governance can happen, some guardrails can be set, but individually in each of us, there has to be an awakening that things are not going to be a smooth continuation. There is a singularity that's happening, and whatever worked, whatever brought us till here is not going to be a linear extension, and I can continue beating the same drum and wearing the same shoes and somehow walk differently. That's my personal take on that, which is why at Zoho schools, for example, we have tried disrupting beyond the need for disruption. Go whole hog, right? We have abolished exams. We have encouraged chat GPT in all student answers, and because that's what they're going to use when they enter the workforce. What's the point training them saying, do not touch the computer, write your code answers in paper, right? That's what we continue to do at colleges. So we have said out the window for all that. And we are experimenting in generative, all the School of Design, School of Technology, School of Business. We are trying to see, that was a great master stroke by Microsoft when it named it Copilot. That is a beautiful name. The pilot is still in charge, but most of the 80% of the work that can be automated deserves to be automated, and hence assign it to the Copilot, move to a higher order. That's how we are looking at it.
I would like to give reference to my own experience. So I run a medtech company. That was the last question. We are in the mission of a stroke and orthopedic rehabilitation using sensors and AI. So all my AI engineers are been hired from tier 2, tier 3 cities, right? I don't have anybody from the IIT or from the Anna University Indian Engineering College. They're all from tier 2, tier 3. Given a 3 months training, I can, with full confidence, I could say that they can do what they need to be done. So, so definitely yes. Right. I think I'm not too worried about the talent.
Yeah, I hope you will agree. I don't have anybody from IITs and IIMs. It's not people beating a track to your door and you saying no to them. They don't come, we don't take. That's the story with Zoho also. You guys have fun somewhere else, happy. We guys having fun here, fine. There is place for everybody. That's the take. Okay, tappa nanchikadinga. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And, if it's IIT, I have to listen to them. I rather want people to listen to me.
They wouldn't want to come to Tenkasi. Yeah. We have been asked to close in 2 minutes
2
for
minutes?
Q&A.
Yes,
Yeah.
Q&A.
So your
I
closing
think,
thoughts
I
on
think,
this.
I think
I
GP.
had a question, probably I should slip that in. My question was about deep tech, not just AI, deep tech.
Yeah.
It being a high-hanging fruit, a long gestation period game. Autonomous, imagine there is a kid here, 20-year-old, star-eyed kid wanting to build an autonomous vehicle that will meander through T-Nagar Ranganathan Street. Yeah. Amazing project. But
A is not going to work in Ranganathan Street.
yeah, she may probably succeed in 15 years. My question is, who gives her that stamina? What can we do to empower such people, play the long game? How do we take their eyes off the low-hanging fruit of an IT job in a software company in Chennai, in an IT park? How do we get them to also understand that there are these longer ones? So it's the difference between chick-lit and the Ramayana perhaps, and the Mahabharata perhaps. Aduvum irukku appadina, how do we show? Your thoughts?
My thoughts, I think you have to empower the startups. You have to empower the
How?
SMEs. So you have to put the use cases. I think IT can do a good job in figuring out. The IT industry can figure out all the digital services that has to be implemented in the state of Tamil Nadu. And you could create an ecosystem of startups through which you can give them the computing power, you can give them the data, access to the problems where the IT digital services. I mean, there are hundreds of problems that we have in Tamil Nadu, right? From transportation to healthcare.
He mentioned that there weren't takers.
And we could provide a blanket of digital services across and define various problem statements and go get students, get young startups to go solve the problem. And they're not going to be expensive because IT can give the space, can give the computing power, problem is done, there's a market access directly. I think that's the way to do. And if you can do that consistently.
I have one suggestion for such people. Start using email again. Because email slows it down. Yeah, instant messages, you need to see them, ... that bouncing thing, everything immediate on the table. Start using email again. Probably that might help. I'm ready for questions.
I think people will ask, what's email?
Thank you, Mr. Rajendran. Thank you, Mr. Vijay. It was a really engaging chat. We are now opening the floor for some questions.
I see a lot of hands.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Kumar Raja. I am from New York City. I have an AI startup. I'm sure Vijay would agree with my question. It's more of a policy question. It's very difficult to outsource to India anymore for tech jobs. It's not as competitive in terms of pricing. It's not that there's no resources, but there's not enough trained resources because it is dearth of resources. They all want to work for Microsoft or Facebook. That inflates the cost of the resources here. I'm pretty sure this training like non-Motherland would help at least to normalize those pricing. Is government consciously doing anything about it? And number two, I think you just mentioned about only it becomes a big player space. That is because those companies spent a lot of time on research, right? It's only because of why West, though we boast ourselves about historically, we were, oldest civilization, we were wealthy, we did trade across globe, but we never spent time on research, right? So everybody, they spent maybe 3-4 decades for research. So I think it's a...
So this guy, he is doing research. He's been running a startup for the past 2 years. He's doing research on cybersecurity. His question to me just a while ago was, how do I get work? So I told him, I think we are all sabikapattavargal, cursed. You probably have to widen your network, do some work for free, live within your means. That was the kind of advice I could give him. So yes, I'm sure he empathizes with you. Yeah.
So one quick question. So I don't want people to look India as a low-cost center, right? That should be the case.
Yeah.
I think we have the IP, we have the talent.
Come for talent, not for
talent. So
cheap
Israel,
money.
I remember Intel, right, went to Israel in the late 70s just as a low-cost center. Now Israel drives the whole revenue for Intel, right? That's how it works. So I think we have the talent. Give us the problem, we will solve it for you.
Yeah, I mean, just to why I brought the question is few of at least five of my friends, they're all going to Central America and America, southern the North America, for setting up shops, and they're not too upset for setting up shops there. So yeah, the English is not the first language there, they're Latin or Spanish, but they're all catching up. So we have to be aware of that somebody is eating our cheese, right? So, and proximity to the Americas are, you know, a big advantage for them. Though they don't have too much power, so of us also, right? Even India doesn't have a trained, yeah, we have a lot of
Sir,
trained engineers. Yeah.
we are running out of time.
Yeah,
He made his
We
question.
can take this
actually. That was a
discussion outside
rhetorical
post this
question.
session.
Thanks.
Hi, I have a question. Here.
No, we are running out of time now. If you have any further questions, you can take it
Later.
out post the session. Thank you.
இல்லப்பா வெயிட் பண்ணு அவங்க விட்டாதான்
நாங்க வெளிய இருக்கோம் பேசலாம் போயிட்டு.
One last
question.
question.
நீங்க கேளுங்க.
Yes.
What's your question?
With this artificial intelligence and stuff, and right now we are not we are just using narrow intelligence, and we know where this Microsoft and all the big boys are going towards for AGI and ASI, and it takes a lot of time over there. But the point is, what do you think that we develop our own things with the better hardware and software, like encountering all the hardware and the software problems? Say for example, I do work on particle physics equally, so I want to counter things.
What's the
using
question,
this.
boss, please?
Okay.
If
So
you can-
that's what do you what is your point? If we develop AI as a third front, countering Microsoft and Google. But that's
It's going to be a long answer. Let's take it offline.
I'll probably answer. I'll give you my version of it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
just
know
want
what
my
the right
opinion.
answer is. See, 3.5 to 4 versus 4 to whatever next is going to be extremely disappointing. Most AI luminaries are now saying that we have hit the ceiling of the wrong room. Intelligence in the true sense of the word is not coming. Yesterday, for example, I had a Tirukkural misadventure with ChatGPT. Try asking ChatGPT for a Tirukkural about something and it generates its own Tirukkural. Seriously, it happened to me yesterday. Okay, 421 the number oda sethu solludu. Okay, they are saying that there is some secret sauce that is missing and they're going back to the drawing board now, which is not hardware and processor and water intensive. It is brain intensive. So probably that is the direction you need to take. AI, the hype is real. It has hit the ceiling of the wrong room, is my opinion.
Your entire advertising business is completely now driven by AI.
Diluted that. Money was not convincing me, so I've diluted that. And just before a short span of time, as Michio Kaku has rightly said, the one who is gonna, there is a big race for this quantum computer. Sorry?
Sir, can we take this discussion later? We are running out of time. Thank you so much. May I now request Mr. Anish Shekhar IAS, MD LCOT, and Mr. Praveen Nair IAS, CEO TNEGA, to felicitate the speakers. Thank you so much, speakers.
Please note, marketing is ultimate and it has to be purely focused on customer consciousness. Again, I said you nowadays customer is very, very highly over expecting customer. You have to not only meet his expectation, you have to exceed his expectation, otherwise you won't be able to grow. Competition. Is there any competition? Hello? According to me, competition is not there. கல் என்று பார்த்தால் கடவுள் தெரியாது, கடவுள் என்று பார்த்தால் கல் தெரியாது. ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டின்னு பார்த்துட்டீங்கன்னா காம்படிஷன் கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாது, காம்படிஷன் பார்த்துட்டீங்கன்னா ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியே கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாது. ஸோ தேர் இஸ் நோ காம்படிஷன். Price and selling price of the share is important, and if you don't give him a good to do, because then you won't fail. How big you will go depends upon what you can do. But if you know what a few things you should not do, you will never fail. Let me tell you, focus is everything in life. There are only two kinds of entrepreneurs, one who is successful, other did not focus. Please remember, the focus is the ultimate word. Frugality, no show off. Be crisp. Take money, don't spend. Take money and invest. If you don't know the difference between spending and investments, you probably will never succeed. Be frugal, be powerful. Discipline is everything. There are many guys who think that 9 to 5 I hate. Let me start business. Business is not 9 to 5. It is 7 to 11. 7 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock in the evening. And business is discipline. If you are disciplined, you will be the most powerful person. Hate. Let me start business. Business is not 9 to 5. It is 7 to 11. 7 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock in the evening. And business is discipline. If you are disciplined, you will be the most powerful person. A small fortune will become a victim of their own creation, and they are least likely to grow. Happiness. I think ultimate life goal is not to become billionaire. Ultimate life goal is to be happier. And let me tell you, if you're already not happy, you can't become richer. Only happy people can become richer. And I want you to understand, first is happiness, then money comes, and then success amplifies happiness. And I wanted to tell the minister and the secretary, startup Tamil Nadu is one aspect of growing economy of the business. And then scale up, where even a 500 crore can become 5,000 crore. All the three cannot be under the same umbrella. You need to create three parallel disciplines. Thank you very much, Startup Tamil Nadu, for inviting me. And I am quite surprised by the size and the scale and the grandeur in which the global investor summit Tamil Nadu has been. Congratulations to all of you. Keep learning, keep growing, keep enjoying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Please stay on stage. Please stay on stage. Inspiring as always. So now I request our Thiru Sivaraja Ramanathan sir. Okay. Okay. So now I request. Okay. Fine. Fine. Thank you. Guys, there is a quick changeover before as we move ahead for a panel discussion. So I request the committee to make sure the chairs are on the stage. While the changeover is happening, I would request the startups to visit the funding platform of Tamil Nadu, TAN Fund. So it's live now. So any startups that is looking to raise funds, so please visit tanfund.in, which is the funding platform of Tamil Nadu. Also, Startup Tamila's registration is still open. So startups who wish to apply for Startup Tamila, so you can register in the official platform of Startup Tamila. So for both the supports, if you need any further assistance, you can reach out to Startup TN through our dedicated service centers, the customer care portal, as well as to any representatives of our team. So coming up next is a panel discussion. We are privileged to host a distinguished panel of experts who will be exploring on the startup investments. So we have 6 investment experts who will be joining with us for the panel, which will be focusing on the startup investments. So it's my honor to introduce the moderator and the panelists for the discussions. Mr. Krishna Chaitanya, sir, Chief Executive Officer, Tamil Nadu Infrastructure Fund Management Corporation, who will be the moderating the session as well. Then Mr. Hari Krishnan, Director, Low Capital, Mr. IAS Balamurugan, Managing Partner, Aniket Capital, Mr. Parak Dole, General Partner, Athira Venture Partners, Mr. Jinesh Shah, Managing Partner, Omnivore, and Mr. Venkat Vallabhaneni, Managing Partner, Inflexia Ventures, will be the panelists. So I now humbly welcome our Krishna Chaitanya sir to the dais. I humbly request our panelists to take over the dais, please. Over to Krishna Chaitanya sir to take forward the discussions, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this discussion on the emerging trends in the VC space and the investment strategies which go along with it. So we have a distinguished panel here. We have leaders in the respective space from the various funds. So before we start, maybe we'll get a bit of a context as to where the global trends are going. So some of the things that are happening is there is in the global venture capital space, of course, it will be very difficult for us to go to statistics on the venture capital space because the definition of venture capital varies. And but having said that, the emphasis has been more on sustainability, on clean tech, on artificial intelligence, and some of the disruptive technologies. Uh, while some of the trends which have been happening is that the VC investments have gone down in terms of both value as well as volume compared to 2021 and 2022 and 2023. In India, we have also had some reduction in the size, the deal size, as well as the number of deals which have happened. But that being said, we'll just get that as the context. And we'll still have to give it to India and other emerging economies that the emerging market VCs have actually performed better than the global VCs. Or the US and the developed market VCs. So that being said, we just want to go around the panelists and let them have a very quick take about what are the two major sectors and the two major trends that they see in the Indian venture capital space. We'll possibly start maybe from the right to left, and we'll go with a quick take on what would be the two major sectors and the two major trends that they see in the Indian VC space. Thank you.
Hi, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Chaitanya, thanks for asking this question. I mean, look, I am a sector-focused fund. Like, I invest in food and agri sector. So, I mean, that's one thing what we believe is working well. But if I take a broader look around it, I think there is a need of a lot of working capital or financing support for the entire country and the SMEs. So that's financial inclusion is something which I think is going to work well. And I think the way the world is moving, the climate is changing. We think a lot of impact around climate. So climate-related technologies or solution is something which is going to work well. I mean, that's what I'll take.
Jinesh copied my answer. So fintech and lending, and probably I'll add software in lending that can sort of ease credit underwriting, collections, etc. So a marriage of SaaS and fintech and lending. I think that's something that India can be a leader, and it can even be exported to the other countries. And decarbonization, again, the global warming, climate change, decarbonization. So these two I would probably call out as big trends. Obviously, AI will be part of both these sort of applications.
அனைவருக்கும் மதிய வணக்கம். How much time I have got for this question?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. So, globally, lots of things happening. One big thing is the inflation, interest rate have peaked. So possibly, I think you will have interest rate cycle coming down, which means riskier assets would be chased. So the private markets could do well. So that's one in terms of bigger trend. A couple of things in terms of sectors. So we are not a very sector agnostic, but we are a sector agnostic. But I would personally be keen in terms of space and then the defense side. Thank you.
Hi. Let me start by saying that there's VC industry has been slow this year, but last year I mean, but this is the best time to start any venture into startup area in my view, right? So it's going to recover probably later part of next year in our view, and so it's going to go up from there, right? As far as the sectors are concerned, we divide that into two different sectors: mainstream sectors and deep tech sectors. In the mainstream sectors, we focus on consumer tech, probably healthcare tech, fintech, and logistics are the sectors we focus on. And AI, artificial intelligence, with whether it's Gen AI or otherwise, it's going to be the focus, and it will move into mainstream as well. And as far as the deep tech is concerned, one is material sciences is something we look at, and space tech, and healthcare, especially on the biotech, biopharma side of it, is something which are very, very interesting to us as well.
So we are on our fourth fund, and traditionally what we have done is basically consumer internet and software as a service. In the last 5 years, I would say, maybe even less, deep tech is an area which, as Venkat mentioned, is getting more and more focus. So things like space we have done our robotics company, we have done a augmented reality, virtual reality kind of a company, electric vehicles. So those kind of areas where it is not just software, software adds to the hardware or the sensors underlying that, and they are getting commoditized, but software adds value. That's where we see the potential going forth.
Thanks. So, Venkat, we see from your portfolio, from your website, that you have straddled across different sectors, from artificial intelligence to consumer tech to health tech to ed tech, and the tech seems to be the common suffix or the second part of the word, but there are the prefix is a sector in itself. So when you evaluate a transaction, how do you really go with the dimensioning? You look at the tech side of it prominently, or the other side. So how is it that what are the top 2, 3 areas that you want to look at? I mean, because most of the audience, I think, would be either some of the entrepreneurs or angel investors or something. I think that could be helpful.
Sure. So we are technology focused fund. We are sector agnostic. So there's
I mean, because most of the audience, I think, would be either some of the entrepreneurs or angel investors or something. I think that could be helpful.
Sure. So we are technology-focused fund. We are sector agnostic. So there's
I hope to, not I hope, I think that could happen to some of these like large guys like, who are parachuting from, outside of the country and coming here and doing business. I think it has happened in trickles, and I'm sure like it will only like, accelerate, which means like more and more Indian fund managers, domestic money would come in. From a domestic side, you've got a transfer of intergenerational wealth. And there is a man who's sitting here who just took a large exit. I'm sure like that money is not going to go idle. He's going to look for good fund managers to put it back, which is like, I think by itself like is a large money. So I think, the capital which is going to come like from a domestic side, both from institutions as well as like, I think from investors like Mr. Velumani, it's going to be pretty large. So you would have like, periods of like, I think this so-called funding winter, but as Parag said, like, on the early stage, it's still active, and Series A stage, like, I think people took a little bit of backseat, but I think it'll come back again. But times are ahead. Even SME IPOs have done well. Like, I think a couple of our angel companies, we could go unlisted there, get exits. So I think it will make domestic managers more active. This is what we feel. I don't know whether I've answered the question, but I just thought I'll just give you a context of like what we think from an Aniket side and how we are wanting to build this institution. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Bala. I think we are running short of time, but we'll have just one very quick rapid fire round. I'll possibly start with Venkat. So you have told about your interest and the problem solving, and considering that we are at Jim here and Tamil Nadu more specifically, what do you want the entrepreneurs in? What do you want to look for in terms of the deals from entrepreneurs in Tamil Nadu? A very quick take, please.
Sure. So we invest 40% of our fund in deep tech and 40% in the enterprise and rest in growth. So as far as deep tech is concerned, space, healthcare, which is basically biotech side of it, material sciences, as I said, these are 3-4 sectors we look for. But I know we invest anywhere from 3 to 5 crores to start with and stay with the entrepreneur up till 50 crores, right? So that's how we do it. We believe Tamil Nadu has got a lot of deep tech talent, which we're trying hard for last 2 years to reach out to the entrepreneurs, not able to get traction, to be honest, right? So where we need help is, connections, right, to the entrepreneurs, and the government helping us to get touch base with the local incubators, and how do I do that? Entrepreneurs reaching out to us. We believe there's a lot of potential in Tamil Nadu, so help us out there in terms of that.
Yeah, thanks. I think for all the entrepreneurs here in that space, you know who to connect with, somebody who is keen. Moving to you, Jinesh, a similar question. In your
talent, which generally is going out of the country. So maybe people can hear and focus on life sciences solutions and focus on climate solutions. At the same time, trying to use the experience what TN has got it in way how they have grown and work with the other states also. That could be a great leverage. That's how I would look around it.
Thanks, Jinesh. I think we have some biotech parks and some life sciences parks here, which we should get you connected with. Parag, similar question. What has been your experience with Tamil Nadu-based investments, and what do you want to really look at there?
So SaaS, obviously, given Zoho and others here, that's an obvious one. What I would say is, if we are to grow as a country, given Zoho and others here, that's an obvious one. What I would say is, if we are to grow as a country, I think manufacturing can't be 17% of our GDP. This state is doing well, 22%, but even 22% is not good enough, and Tamil Nadu is the leader, so probably it can show that. Everything that we see today is not a straight widget manufacturing. It is multidisciplinary in nature, and manufacturing in particular is going to, the overlap of technology and manufacturing is going to see a lot of investments. Robotics, we have a company called Lati, for instance. Most of the customers would be here. More customers would be here than in Bangalore, for instance, which I have an obvious weakness for. But the truth is that Chennai is much better at it. So I think we will see, especially in some of those involved segments in deep tech and what IIT Madras is doing, for example, Professor Chakravarti, for instance. This is leading edge work. So that is what Tamil Nadu, and it is a much better governed state than ours is, honestly. So I would say that.
Thanks, Parag. Look forward to you being in news releases with some of your investments in the near future in Tamil Nadu. Thank you. Bala, this one's for you. You said that you are really looking at something to do with the where the strength of Tamil Nadu is, or like it is pointed out, 22% of the state's GSDP comes from the industry. So you seem to have some interest there. Just a very quick revert on that.
I'm the local boy here, am I right? We have close to about 18 investments in Tamil Nadu. And just to give you a fact on manufacturing, the number of CNC machines in the country, I think if you look at a concentrated pocket, it would be high in Chennai. Probably next to Pune or next to NCR, we would be there. So I think if you want to fabricate anything, you can do it in Chennai or Tamil Nadu. And that's one of the reasons why you've got Agnicool, E-Plane, like all of this is like, I think, one of our first investments. If you need to fabricate something to set it up, like I think you need to be in Chennai. I think we use manufacturing tech, we have few investments. Consumer companies, I also see defense corridor, which is announced by the central government, and it's really picked up by the state government. I think we've just done 2 defense startups. I think we have been sponsors of the Defense Expos in Chennai. Defense, I think I see it as a big opportunity. Engineering services, like the state is known for auto engineering services, like we have picked up in other engineering services. Need not be restricted to the country. It could be even exported. I think we've got a lovely young boy like who's going to do solar-based engineering services to US and rest. I think we almost signed up. I think should happen in a week or 2. So I think we think SaaS is like very on the higher side, which we don't understand as a firm. But there are areas in which we understand, which we think it's a local play for the Tamil Nadu industry. So where we would continue to do a lot more in the years to come. So that's how we are planning ourselves. Where there is lesser traveled and where there is a local flavor, I think we would continue to be there.
Thanks, Bala. I think that's good to hear. Coming back to you, Hari, in your space, the same question. Again, with the fintech sector, people saying that whatever had to be done has already been done. So in Tamil Nadu especially, do you see some opportunities, and how do you really see them, and what can we expect from you in, let's say, 2024?
So definitely, I think a lot of good things, foundations are there already in Tamil Nadu. For example, Equitas as a bank in our portfolio became public listed. We see M2P, which is a fintech SaaS company, again, leveraging SaaS talent of Tamil Nadu and Chennai. M2P is a leading fintech infra company that's powering a lot of banks in the country and globally as well. So I think this trend can continue in cutting edge areas, more like blockchain, etc. You can leverage both the fintech and SaaS talent and go in there. And one more trend I'm looking forward from Chennai or Tamil Nadu is more of EV. Given that automobile has been a sort of a very success story and a lot of talent here, naturally EV could sort of be leveraged from the state as well.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I think owing to the paucity of time, we need to really end it here. But Jinesh, we did. Yeah. So thanks for this. We now the audience knows who to corner after the end of this session. Unfortunately, we can't take the Q&A, but I think you know who to corner and to get the answers from. Thank you. It's been a lovely panel. I wish to thank all of you for the same. Thank you. Please give a big round of applause.
I'm leaving, but I've got my colleague Pranav Natarajan who would stay back. I think kindly meet up with him if there is anyone who wants to reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request the panelists to please stay on the stage. Now I request our Mission Director and CEO, Thiru Shivaraja Ramanathan, sir, to join us on the stage. Also, I request Dr. Velumani, sir, to please join us on the stage to do the honors for the esteemed speakers. I request our MD and CEO, please honor Dr. Velumani, sir. Thank you so much to the esteemed panelists. Thank you so much, MD sir. Thank you so much, Velamani sir. Thank you to all the guests and hearty thanks to all the audience who have joined us for the Startup Investment Summit. Thank you.
Shake this, hello, shake this, shake, hello, shake, shake on, shake, shake, hello, shake, 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 hello, shake, hello, shake.
தரம் தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில் ஜெயச்சந்திரன். குறைந்த விலை நிறைந்த தரம் தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில் ஜெயச்சந்திரன்.